Describe me in 3 words.
Energetic, expressive, always talking.
That's 4 words.
Always talking counts as 1 for you.
Okay, now I'll describe you. Tall, quiet, photogenic.
Photogenic.
You photograph well. I've seen your test shots. Very moody, very artsy.
Those are camera tests.
Tom, you have a series of black and white photos of yourself looking into the middle distance. That's an album cover.
I was checking the lighting.
For 30 minutes.
It's a technical process.
The lighting, yes, very important. Welcome back to English Next Door. I'm Mia, Tom is here.
Hi.
And today we're talking about how to describe people in English, what they look like, what they're like as a person, and how to talk about someone when they're not in the room, which people do all the time.
All the time.
Oh, you have to meet my friend. She's... And then you need the words. It comes up constantly. Basics first. Tom?
Height. Tall, medium height, short. Build. Slim, athletic, well-built. Hair. Short, long, curly, straight, wavy. Color. Black, brown, blonde, red, gray.
Age?
She looks to be in her 30s. He seems around 40. Approximate and kind.
Approximate and kind. The golden rule of describing people. Never say, she looks old. Never say, he looks rough. Just approximate and kind.
Eyes. Blue, green, brown, gray, hazel.
Hazel, I love that word. It means brown and green and gold all mixed together. Very specific. One word for something complicated. English is good at that sometimes.
Sometimes.
When it wants to be. Game. I describe someone, Tom guesses who it is, from our life.
Okay.
Medium height, brown hair, always has a coffee, very expressive hands, sometimes panics when there's a silence and fills it with whatever comes out.
That's you.
It's me, yes.
Panics when there's a silence is very accurate.
It's my biggest weakness. There's a pause and my brain says, fill it, say anything. And then I say something I didn't plan.
Like what?
Like the time I told my manager's manager that I loved the energy of a meeting I found completely pointless.
Loved the energy.
It just came out. She looked at me. I kept going. Yes, very productive energy, very forward thinking. She seemed happy. I still don't know what I meant.
You invented office language in real time.
I absolutely did. Okay, your turn.
Tall. Dark hair. Quite short. Usually in outdoor clothes even when he's not outdoors. Takes long pauses before answering. Has a stuffed sloth on his desk.
That's you.
Yes.
Usually in outdoor clothes even when he's not outdoors. Tom, do you wear hiking boots to work?
Sometimes.
Why?
They're comfortable. And I might go for a walk at lunch.
You wear hiking boots to a software office because you might go for a walk.
People wear running shoes everywhere. This is slightly different.
The stuffed sloth is extremely unusual, and he needs a name. Tom?
He doesn't need a name.
Listeners, we're naming the sloth. Leave suggestions in the comments.
Please don't.
Too late. Personality. This is harder than looks. Looks are easy. You can see them. Personality is more complicated.
And more personal.
Much more personal. The words you choose say something about you, too. Okay, positive words. Tom?
Reliable, patient, calm, thoughtful, honest.
All very Tom. Mine? Warm, funny, spontaneous, enthusiastic.
All very Mia.
We're just describing ourselves.
Apparently.
What about words that sound positive but can be a warning? Like, confident is good. Very confident? Maybe a little too much. Honest is good. Brutally honest? Danger sign.
Brutally honest means someone is going to say something unkind and blame the truth.
I'm just being honest. 4 words that mean I've decided my opinion is more important than your feelings.
Very accurate.
And quirky. That word. It means someone is a little different, a little unexpected. And whether it's a compliment depends completely on how you say it.
Said warmly, it's affectionate.
Said with a certain pause before it, it means something else entirely.
He's quirky.
That pause does a lot of work.
1 word, 2 completely different meanings.
That's English for you. Here's something I love. Describing someone through what they do. Not adjectives, actions. Because she's kind tells you something. But she texted me on Friday to check how my difficult week went tells you everything.
Specifics are more powerful than adjectives.
Always. Tom, describe yourself through an action.
I drove 2 hours to return a friend's camera lens he'd left at my place. He had a shoot the next morning.
Tom, that's so lovely.
He needed it.
You didn't have to drive 2 hours.
He needed it.
See, that one action tells me reliable, loyal, doesn't make a big deal of doing something kind. Much better than Tom is a good friend.
Your turn.
Okay. I once sat on a train for 3 hours talking to a complete stranger who was crying. She'd just broken up with someone she'd been with for 6 years.
You talked to a stranger for 3 hours.
She was sitting next to me. She was upset. What was I supposed to do? Put my headphones in?
Most people would.
I couldn't. It's physically impossible for me to see someone upset and do nothing.
How was it?
Really good, actually. She felt better by the end, I think. And then the train stopped and we both got off and that was it.
You never talked again?
Never. And that's kind of beautiful in a sad way. 2 people, 3 hours, a whole conversation. And then, nothing. A little story that was complete in itself.
That says a lot about you.
What does it say?
That you actually see people, even strangers. You look at them properly.
Tom, that's the nicest thing you've said in 16 episodes.
Don't make it weird.
I'm making it slightly weird.
I know. Very wrong.
Tom, worst first impression of someone who turned out to be great.
You.
Me?
When we first met at work, I thought you talked too much.
Tom?
You do talk a lot, but I didn't understand yet that underneath the talking was all this warmth and curiosity. I just heard the volume first.
Okay, that's actually a lovely thing to say in a very Tom way.
A very Tom way.
Calm, practical, compliment hidden inside an observation.
Your turn.
My best friend. When we met, she seemed very cold. Short answers, barely looked at me. I thought she didn't like me at all.
What happened?
She was just incredibly shy. Once she felt comfortable, one of the funniest people I know. Now she sends me voice messages that are 8 minutes long.
8 minutes.
8 minutes, Tom, with different sections. She saves everything up during the week and sends it all at once.
That's very organized for someone who seemed cold.
People surprise you. That's the whole point. You can't read someone in the first 5 minutes.
Sometimes not even in the first 5 months.
Some people take time, and the ones who take time are usually worth it. Last thing, describing someone difficult. At work, politely. Because sometimes you need to say something is wrong without saying it directly.
He's very direct. He says things without thinking about how they land.
She's quite particular. She's difficult about details.
He has very high standards. He's impossible to please.
She's passionate about her work. A little warning there.
He has very high standards. He's impossible to please.
She's passionate about her work. A little warning there.
He marches to the beat of his own drum. He does whatever he wants and doesn't listen.
My favorite. She's very something. The pause plus the word something says everything while technically saying nothing.
That's very diplomatic.
That's survival. Tom, have you ever described someone at work and said too much?
Once, I said a colleague's code was interesting.
In tech, interesting means
Something is wrong. Everyone in the room understood, including him.
what happened?
He rewrote the code. It was much better.
So, interesting worked.
It communicated, politely.
Interesting. Possibly the most useful word in English. It can mean wonderful or terrible. The tone does all the work.
Use with care.
Always. Big thought. We spend so much time describing how people look. Tall, short, brown hair, blue eyes, and all of that fades. But the descriptions that actually stay, the ones that matter, they're never about appearance.
She notices when you're not okay before you say anything.
Yes, that's a description. That's a whole person in one sentence.
He makes you feel like the most interesting person in the room.
She remembers small things you mentioned months ago and asks about them.
Those are the people worth describing.
Those are the people worth becoming.
That's good.
I surprised myself. Okay, today we talked about describing people. Looks, personality, first impressions, polite ways to describe difficult people, and why Tom wears hiking boots to the office.
They're comfortable.
Very comfortable. Key phrases, everyone?
She has long brown hair. He's quite tall. She's really warm. He comes across as very calm. She's the kind of person who... He's very direct. She's quite particular. She's very something.
Use them. And leave us your sloth name suggestions. This is important. I'm Mia.
And I'm Tom, who is not naming the sloth.
He's already named him in his heart, I can tell. And English is already next door. You just have to open the door. See you next episode.